Now at 9, the family of the missing Labette County man, Dakota Patton, speaks out as the search continues. Plus, the city of Joplin recognizes its employees for Local Government Week. And we'll hear from the city of Carthage, Missouri on a $1 million grant being used to build an industrial park.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. Jasper County authorities find human trafficking victims in the area. Jasper County detectives and Joplin police investigators last Friday conducted a victim-centered human trafficking investigation. They found 4 adults offering prostitution services at a local hotel. Life Choices and the Rise Coalition offered the 4 medical services and social services, but investigators found that not all of them wanted help. One person was taken into custody for warrants. One was arrested for prostitution. No word yet on additional charges. The Oklahoma Attorney General says he can't prevent the man convicted for the murders of 2 Welch, Oklahoma girls from an early prison release. Ronnie Busick pled guilty in 2020 to the accessory to murder for the disappearance of Ashley Freeman in Lariah Bible. He also pleaded guilty to the deaths of Danny and Kathy Freeman in Welch. According to the Oklahoma Department of Corrections, Busick is set to be released on May 19th. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison with 5 years of probation. Oklahoma Attorney General Ginter Drummond agreed the murders were horrific and deserved the harshest punishment. Drummond added that he nor the District Attorney General possess the legal authority to delay Busick's release from prison. You can read the full response from the Attorney General as well as the mother of Lariah Bible's response on the KOAM News Now app. The Labette County, Kansas Sheriff's Office says foul play is suspected in Dakota Patton's disappearance. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke to family members of Dakota Patton about their longing for answers.
Dakota Patton went missing on April 25th. He was last seen in an argument at a gas station in Parsons. Allegedly, Clinton and Barger, the man arguing with Patton, threatened him.
I'm about ready to get rid of that boy and they'll never find the body. And that was the last time Dakota was ever seen again.
Patton's mother and brother have been searching since reporting him missing on April 26th. They remember Patton as a true country boy.
Very loving, outgoing. He'll give you the shirt off his back. He loves riding horses and 4-wheelers and fishing. Just country boy stuff, you know. I couldn't get it out of my head and I knew something was wrong. So I would come here and picked up Mom in the morning and we just drove the back way to Clint's house.
Dakota's mom and brother has been even searching back roads trying to find clues to point where is Dakota. They even found his abandoned vehicle in a field about 15 minutes from their home, but still no signs of Dakota.
I've checked every bridge, every deep ditch, everywhere around Neosho County and Labette County, and there's nothing to be found.
The local sheriff office is actively investigating with the KBI. However, that doesn't stop Patton's brother from his own searches.
When I'm out there searching, it's, you know, especially if I'm by myself, it plays a toll on my mental state.
You start feeling hopeless.
Yeah.
If you know anything concerning Patton's disappearance, call 1-800-KS-CRIME or Labette County Sheriff Office.
He's just a big animal lover.
We just want him home. We want closure and peace for our family.
Reporting in Labette County, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
We have some breaking news. The Labette County Sheriff's Office announced they have found the remains of Dakota Patton. He was found with a gunshot northeast of Parsons. A warrant has been issued for Clint Nibarger and Kimberly Thomas. And now to weather. Chief Meteorologist Doug Ketty joins us with the first look.
Well, overall, it turned out to be a pretty good Monday for us today, but we've had one little cluster of showers and thunderstorms, mainly in our northern counties. Parts of Vernon County has been under a severe thunderstorm warning for about 3.5–4 hours, which is kind of crazy, but still a severe thunderstorm watch until 11. We'll see if these storms intensify a little bit as they drop a little closer to the I-44 corridor. They are just creeping, like literally walking off toward the south and to the east. So just south of Nevada, still a severe thunderstorm warning. Southern parts of Vernon County stretches. Here's 69 highway just south of Fort Scott and then just north of Girard. But the main threat with these storms over the past several hours has mainly been hail across the region. But hit and miss, scattered strong storms still kind of popping up on and off throughout the night. Very hit and miss. It's not extremely organized, but we do have more thunderstorms in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
McDonald County High School handed out more than $1 million tonight. The school hosted its senior scholarship night. They handed out more than 150 awards to students totaling more than $1.2 million. Officials say the students have worked very hard to get this far.
So this is a very exciting night for us. This is our senior scholarship award night, and almost 150 kids are gathered here tonight, and their families and representatives of some of these scholarships to give away these scholarships to these kids. It's just a testimony of the hard work and dedication that they've put in throughout the year.
$800,000 of the scholarships came from the state's A+ scholarship program. 7 Pittsburgh high school students today signed fine art scholarships at the collegiate level. 6 students earned scholarships to Pitt State. 1 student earned a scholarship to Kansas State University.
It is a big day. I guess it hasn't really set into reality for me. This has been, like 14 years in the making, I suppose. I guess it hasn't set in yet. Like, I'm gonna get home and just probably be screaming in my room or something like that.
The students signed their scholarships at the Pittsburgh High School auditorium. Mound Valley, Kansas grade school 5th graders today volunteered with the Ronald McDonald House of the 4 States. For the last several months, students with the school collected aluminum pop tabs with the intent to donate them to the house. Students also participated in healthy house cleaning projects while on site.
I do this every year. I just want my kids to kind of get a taste of what it feels like to help somebody. And this is just a small way that they can see that they are making a difference.
5th grade teacher Kristen Shaw has been bringing her class to the volunteer house for more than a decade. It has been the goal of instilling the importance of helping others and choosing kindness. Coming up, we'll take a look at Planet Fitness and some new programs for teenagers during the summer. Rising levels of anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts among teenagers continues causing alarm. To try and address the mental health crisis, some administrators are calling for a later start to the school day. Fox News' Ted Linder takes a closer look at how such a policy is playing out at one high school and why the idea could be spreading across the country.
Some educators believe a later start time for schools could help address the worsening mental health crisis affecting many teenagers. The concept is already underway at Upper Darby High School in Pennsylvania, where this year administrators moved the start time back from 7:30 in the morning to 9:45.
I've been much happier in the mornings. I've been more positive, and I've come to school smiling more rather than, grudging out of bed and stuff like that at 7:30.
Because people go through large spurts of physical and mental developments during their teenage years, the National Institutes of Health says adolescents need roughly 9 to 10 hours of sleep every night to function at their best. Going to school later could give them more time to rest and better prepare for the day ahead of them.
People have the ability to satisfy their needs. They're just their basic human needs. Kids are sleeping more. Kids are eating breakfast.
But there's a small catch. While students at Upper Darby High School have a later start time, they still get out at 3. Some parents who oppose the delay say their kids are missing out on learning. But school administrators argue time is not going to waste because students are expected to use some of their free time in the mornings to complete assigned remote work relating to their classes for the day.
It's more flexible. I get to do my homework whenever I really want.
California became the first and only state to mandate later school start times back in 2019. Now, at least 9 other states are considering similar legislation, with some schools in Denver, Philadelphia, and Anchorage, Alaska also examining their options. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
A new study finds obese children have alarming cognitive differences than their peers. The team at Boston Children's Hospital found preteens who were obese had more trouble solving problems and thinking logically. Their findings, which were published in the International Journal of Obesity, are drawing concerns from doctors. In the United States, there is a high rate of childhood obesity. Data taken between 2017 and 2020 showed the epidemic affected about 14.7 million children, according to the CDC. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And Planet Fitness wants teenagers to make both their mental and physical health priority once school is out. Planet Fitness is offering free memberships to teens aged 14 to 19 this summer. It's the third year of the Planet Fitness High School Summer Pass program, which includes workouts tailored to teens and personal training. Teens can sign up for it now with a parent or guardian. It runs through August 31st. Doug is back with a complete look at the forecast, and later we'll hear from the Missouri Southern softball team on making the national tournament.
Well, it turned out to be another warm one for us today. Quite a bit of sunshine for most of us, but we have been tracking a few scattered thunderstorms throughout the late afternoon into the evening hours. And looking outside right now, of course, the evening daylight hours really stretching out. It just became dark outside, but we have been watching a severe thunderstorm watch across the region, also a severe thunderstorm warning. Really, parts of Vernon County, some part of the county has been under a severe thunderstorm warning for about 3.5 hours, but goes until 11 p.m. The watch, the warning, this storm just keeps drifting off toward the south and to the east very, very slowly. You can see this is the past 2 hours, just barely moving, creeping at about 3 or 4 miles per hour. But that's it. Besides that, we are going to get some other little clusters that pop up as we go through the night. I think most of these are just going to be strong, but we'll have to see what this little thunderstorm decides to do. But we're looking south of Nevada, so here's Lamar, so moving into northern parts of Barton County, and then here's 69 Highway, so just north of Frontenac, up toward Fort Scott. A lot of thunder, a lot of lightning. If you look north, you can really see a lot of lightning. This cluster of storms has produced a lot of hail, very heavy amounts of rain. Most of Vernon County, which is much needed, has picked up anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rain throughout the evening hours. Let's go through time. Here's 11:30 p.m. Still hit and miss scattered storms. Some of those could be a little stronger. We can't rule out a low-grade severe thunderstorm, mainly due to hail, as we go through the overnight hours, but just hit and miss showers and thunderstorms through the night. Nothing organized, meaning widespread, into the morning hours. And we'll even start the day with a few random little thunderstorms, but it's mainly tomorrow afternoon that we got to keep our eyes on, or actually tomorrow evening. Temperatures still, most of us are sitting into the mid-70s right now. You can see the lightning, ton of electricity with this storm looking north from 7th and Rangeland. 75 easterly winds 5 to 10. Humidity is at 64%. And these hit and miss storms last through the night. I think most of tomorrow morning is going to be dry. We warm into the upper 70s by noon. And then once we get into the afternoon, we need to watch for thunderstorms across central Kansas, because these are going to try to dive in once we get into tomorrow evening. Here's 6 p.m. So hit and miss storms popping up. So a severe threat again, mainly after 4 p.m. for us tomorrow. This cluster drops in. It's 8 p.m. Should be more widespread than what we have been seeing today. And again, any of these storms could be strong to severe, and a little higher tornado threat with these once we get into tomorrow afternoon. So a lot to watch, heavy amounts of rain as we go through tomorrow evening, and these rain chances continue each and every day this week, which is good. We're going to make tomorrow an alert day because of a severe threat. I do think we have a severe threat Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as well, maybe even on Saturday. So plenty of rain chances this week, cooling down a little bit once we get into early next week, but hopefully we get some widespread rain because we need it.
Yeah, we certainly do. Thank you, Doug.
Yep.
We have another update on the case of Dakota Patton. Clinton Barger and Kimberly Thomas have been arrested. Authorities tonight found Patton's remains near Parsons. Coming up, trying to combat flight cancellations.
The Biden administration hoping its new rules protecting airline passengers will take off. I'm Mike Emanuel in Washington. I'll have details coming up.
Many Americans say air travel has become a hassle, especially if, like most passengers, they have experienced long delays or cancellations. Now, the Biden administration is launching new regulations to help improve the experience. Fox News Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel has more from Washington.
The next time your flight's delayed, you may end up getting paid. The Biden administration proposing new rules ahead of the busy summer travel season, aimed at holding airlines accountable for long delays and cancellations.
I know how frustrated many of you are with the service you get from your U.S. airlines. That's why our top priority has been to get American air travelers a better deal.
President Biden and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg want airlines to reimburse passengers for their expenses if airlines cancel or delay flights for reasons within their control, such as mechanical issues or crew staffing. Still, it doesn't mean travelers won't encounter turbulence, but now they could be getting some relief to cover expenses or inconveniences, including compensation along with refunds, meal vouchers, overnight accommodations, ground transportation to and from the hotel, and timely customer service. The Department of Transportation says it's taking steps to make flying more efficient.
FAA recently used new technology to clear over 100 new, more efficient flight routes.
Critics say this effort to boost flyer rights could backfire, leading to higher ticket prices for everyone. And travel experts say these rules will be slow to take off.
Don't hold your breath. If you expect something to happen quickly, I highly doubt that'll happen. It'll take months and probably years.
The administration says another new rule will go into effect later this year, requiring airlines to be more transparent about the full cost of tickets, including all fees. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is scrambling to hire and train thousands of air traffic controllers. Currently, he says the U.S. understaffed by about 3,000 positions nationwide. The FAA's workforce currently numbers about 11,500 controllers, but there's a need for nearly 15,000. Buttigieg says most flight delays are not due to the shortage of airport control towers. The Transportation Secretary estimates that only about 5% of delay minutes can be attributed to FAA staff shortages. Up next, how is a young man in Massachusetts is getting noticed for creating music in a unique way? Sometimes we might feel the beat sort of speak when our favorite songs play, but this young man is indeed the beat, making catchy rhythms for more than a decade with pens. Lenny Simo from Lawrence, Massachusetts, has combined pen tapping and beat making for the last 12 years. At first, his pen tapping was just for fun, but things changed when Simo won first place in his high school talent show. After that, he decided to dedicate his full time to the craft. Simo even appeared on the Jennifer Hudson show in late April. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. We'll hear from the city of Carthage, Missouri on a $1 million grant being used to build an industrial park. Plus, the city of Joplin recognizes its employees for Local Government Week. The city of Carthage, Missouri will be getting an industrial park. Officials say the city has been working on the project for years now. KOAM John Hadala talked with the city of Carthage and Carthage Economic Development Corporation and has more.
It's a project they've been working on for at least 15 years. They tried to pass a tax issue at one point in time. That didn't work out, and since then it's just always come down to the matter of funding, trying to find someone able to actually acquire enough funds to purchase the land.
Jeff Meredith, CEO of the Carthage Economic Corporation, says it is huge they are able to develop an industrial park south of Mercy Hospital in Carthage. The community partnership is important for City Administrator Greg Dagnan. The city is investing $1 million, Carthage Water and Electric $1.5 million. Local Studley Trust is adding another $1 million, and the state grant brings the total to $5 million.
We did just have some city-owned land, and when we actually started focusing on it, we sold it pretty quickly to different industries and people that we wanted to come to town. So I'm really excited to have some more land that we can, really cater to the businesses that we want to come here and really help drive the economy.
Meredith says this is a great place to store or move product because of the short driving time.
Because of the close proximity to both I-49 and I-44, a warehouse is a very ideal business that could be here, because within 4 miles, you're connected to 2 different interstates that can connect you to both the north and south ends of the country, as well as the east and west coasts.
Meredith says once the actual closing date for the transaction is determined, they will have a land available sign visible from the highway. He says the next step is to find a business interested so they can leverage opportunities connected to job growth. In Carthage, Janna Haldala, KOAM News.
Meredith recommends any interested industrial businesses wanting to warehouse products to contact the Carthage Economic Development Corporation. This week is Local Government Week in the state of Missouri. It's a chance for cities to recognize their employees for all the hard work they do. The city of Joplin today added messages of appreciation and support written in chalk outside the entrances of city facilities. Officials say the Joplin city staff makes a big difference in the community.
We've got a tremendous team here that are passionate about serving this community. And the city organization impacts people's lives daily here in the community. And we're a service organization, so we have to have great employees to be able to serve the community.
The city of Joplin employs more than 550 people with more than 40 departments. Some folks got together for a good cause in Quapaw, Oklahoma today. It was for a cookout with Spanx Barbecue in the Quapaw Farmers Market. For $12, you could get a pulled pork sandwich, baked beans, chips, and a drink. All proceeds went to medical expenses for Danny Tanner, also known as Harley Claus.
Like at Christmas time, y'all will see him anywhere on his bike dressed up as Santa Claus. Cruising everywhere, and it's really cool. People stop to take pictures with him. Of course, all the kids and stuff, they really look up for it too.
Danny got into a motorcycle accident this year and totaled his motorcycle. The funds go towards being able to get him back on his feet. Mother's Day is a few days away, but some mothers are already getting some much-needed pampering. As Fox's Irene Snyder tells us, many of these moms are facing tough times, and some organizations have come together to show them how much they are appreciated.
It's amazing. It really is.
Building bridges and bringing hope to mothers across the valley.
We hear some really heartbreaking stories, but this is a moment of happiness, a moment of light.
Pampering them with well-deserved massages, facials, mani-pedis, and love gift bags.
It's really nice, and it makes you feel so unique and wanted, and the things that you want when you're a mom and sometimes you don't get.
Many of these families have been homeless and are now seeking support and transitional housing at the House of Refuge in Mesa.
Families come to us, they stay for a year. We give them a house, we give them food, clothing, case management services, education and employment services.
85% of those people are single moms with kids. The organization's Mother's Day event, put on by 3 area nonprofits, handing out hope, Love Society, and Mama Army.
It's amazing. This is what we look forward to, putting on, making sure mothers feel appreciative.
While the mothers get pampered, the kids are getting busy making a special craft for mom. And at the end of the day, just seeing the kids and their mom smile makes it all worth it.
For me, it hits home because I grew up in a domestic violence situation. So this, to me, to kind of be able to give back to them means more than anything, because I can genuinely empathize and relate to what they went through, and to see them coming in with their little kids, I'm like, that was me. And what I wouldn't have given to have something like this, and to know that I can tell them that they matter in this world and that they can go out there and make something of themselves.
Irene Snyder, Fox 10.
A bit later, wrapping up a historic moment in the UK.
Coronation festivities in the United Kingdom come to an end. In London, I'm Alex Hogan. I'll have more on how the royal family marked this day coming up.
Well, most of us have partly sunny skies for us today. Temperatures into the 80s for highs after a very warm/hot weekend as our temperatures really got up there. We do still have a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m., mainly on the Missouri side, sliver of Kansas, and you can see that yellow box. That has been a severe thunderstorm warning that we have been dealing with over the past several hours. A storm finally starting to pick up a little steam, but drifting off toward the south ever so slowly. It's actually been weakening over the past 45 minutes or so, but still it has winds at 60 miles per hour and about quarter to $half size hail. And you can see this is in northwestern parts of Barton County, southwestern parts of Vernon County, now into northern parts of Crawford County. So this is going to sink on the east side of Pittsburgh, but it has had a weakening trend, so we're going to watch that. But very heavy amounts of rain, probably some hail if you live in Liberal, is going to be working in over the next 20 minutes or so. I do think we'll get some additional scattered thunderstorms popping up as we go through the overnight hours, and this storm has dropped a ton of rain. Now we need it, but if you look at the color code, which is hard to see, it's anywhere from 2 to 5 inches across Vernon County with that storm over the past couple hours. All right, hit and miss storms through the overnight. Majority of these are just going to stay moderate to strong. We can't rule out a random severe thunderstorm tonight. It would be mainly for hail, but mainly just kind of hit and miss storms throughout the overnight hours. You can see them kind of lining up along the I-44 corridor. And then I think by morning, most of us are going to be on the dry side, and then we're going to have to watch for thunderstorms again as we get into tomorrow evening. Look at the lightning with that storm. So this is 7th and range line. We are looking north, a jaunt toward the west. So very electric storms as they continue to drift off toward the south and to the east. All right, most of tomorrow should be dry through the morning hours. We can't rule out a random shower, but most of the morning is going to be dry. We push 80 by noon. We get into the 80s during the afternoon, but once we get into the evening, you can see a few isolated guys trying to pop up. So this is 5 p.m. As we continue through the evening hours, a cluster drops in. These will most likely be strong to severe and a little higher of a tornado threat with these as we get into tomorrow evening. So we need to watch that. Here's 10 p.m. Most of us getting scattered showers and thunderstorms lasting into the overnight hours all the way into Wednesday morning. And then it kind of calms down and then regenerates once again as we get into Wednesday afternoon. Day planner tomorrow, I think most of us get into the lower 80s for afternoon highs. We'll shoot for a high of about 84. Here's some good news. We're going to go all the way through the next 6 days on rainfall amounts. And if we can get anywhere near this over the next 6 days, this would put a nice little dent in the drought. But a lot of us could pick up 2, 3 inches, 4 inches. You can see Vernon County got 3 to 5 just this evening. Alert day tomorrow due to the severe threat. Thunderstorms Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think a severe threat each and every day. Doesn't look like Sunday at this point in time. Cooling down a little bit early next week, but it's May. A very active week for us this week.
Yeah, those April showers came a little late, but at least we're getting them and putting it in that drought.
Yeah, we need it.
All right, thank you, Doug. NASA has launched a new mission aimed at improving hurricane forecasting. The first 2 CubeSats, nicknamed Rocket Like a Hurricane, lifted off from New Zealand yesterday evening. In about 2 weeks, 2 additional CubeSats, nicknamed Coming to a Storm Near You, are set to launch. Together, the 4 satellites will capture hourly observations of the precipitation, temperature, and humidity of tropical storms. Coming up in sports, the Missouri Southern softball team is headed to the national tournament for the first time since 2001. Plus, Galena and Baxter Springs square off in the final game of their league schedule. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more next.
The Missouri Southern Lions finished as the runner-up in the MIAA Conference Tournament over the weekend, but their season is not over just yet. The Lions have made the Division II National Tournament for the first time since 2001. Now, the selection show was this morning. This right here was the moment the Lions learned they made the field. The Southern has earned the number 2 seed in the Central Region and will face Minnesota Duluth in the first round on Thursday. And not only are they in the tournament for the first time in 22 years, they get to host the regional for the first time since 1993.
Hosting is huge. We get to be in our own beds. We get to eat what we want to eat. We get to play in front of our fans, and we've had some really good crowds this year, and it's exciting. Our kids have earned it. Pat Lapierre is crying because she's so happy. I feel like this team is doing what we were set out to do, and that was put Missouri Southern softball on the map. And good things are coming to the kids, and I couldn't be more grateful. Southwest Missouri, please come out, support us. There's going to be really good softball being played at the Pat Lapierre Softball Complex, and please come out and enjoy it with us.
On the baseball side, Missouri Southern has made the semifinals of the MIAA Conference Tournament. And the Lions took 2 out of 3 from Newman over the weekend to advance to the Final Four in the bracket. Their next game is Thursday at 4 p.m. facing Northeastern State in Warrensburg. The Lions took 2 out of 3 from the Riverhawks when they met in the regular season. Now, Pittsburgh State also in the Final Four of the MIAA Conference Tournament after taking their series from Central Oklahoma over the weekend. The Gorillas faced the top seed in the tournament Thursday at noon, hitting the field against Central Missouri. Well, the Mules won the MIAA regular season title and are currently ranked 4th in the nation. The Baxter Springs Lions and Galena Bulldogs finish up their CNC schedule this afternoon. The Bulldogs host the Lions for a doubleheader in a pair of makeup games from last week's rainout. So here we go with Game 1. Both pitchers pretty good in this one. Hadley Price for Galena Strikeout there in the top of the 6th. Then bottom of the inning, it's Logan Guess doing the same thing for Baxter Springs. Game tied 2-2 going to the 7th. Looks like extra innings, but bottom 7, Galena gets bases loaded with 2 outs. Pitch gets by, allows Price to come in to score. That's how the ball game ends. Galena beats Baxter Springs in a low-scoring Game 1, 3-2. On Game 2, Bulldogs try for the sweep. The Bats get hot in that one, and they would get it done. The final score in that game was 10-3. Now, same matchup, different sport here. Galena and Baxter Springs softball meet on the diamond tonight. Game 1, 2nd inning, Emily Schoen. 1 strikeout, then another. Baxter Springs leads 3-0 after 2. Top of the 3rd, Schoen helps her own cause, sends a rocket to right over everybody. That brings Kenna Reinhardt home and makes it 4-0 Lions. Later on in the inning, Lily Kennard fights it off into the right field corner, scores another for Baxter Springs. They take a 6-run lead after 3. The Lions win Game 1 in a shutout, beating Galena 10-0. In Game 2, Lions try for the sweep, but Galena comes back and wins that one and avoids the sweep 6-1. Well, it's playoff time for high school softball in Southwest Missouri. Pierce City and Mount Vernon meet tonight in the Class II District 6 semifinals. It's Mount Vernon winning a good one 3-1 to advance to the district finals. And they'll meet the winner of this one, Diamond and Sarcoxy. On the other side of the bracket, Diamond gets it done 9-5, so it'll be Diamond and Mount Vernon for the district title tomorrow night in Mount Vernon. That's it for sports. We're back after this.
2 days after the coronation of King Charles III, the royal family is back in the public eye. The royals taking part in the final events of coronation celebrations. Fox News correspondent Alex Hogan has the story.
For all that celebrations are magnificent, at the heart of the pageantry is a simple message: service.
The royal family's message of service once again front and center. On the final day of coronation festivities, the Prince and Princess of Wales, along with their 3 children, were out taking part in the Big Help Out. It's a day encouraging people across the UK to volunteer and give back to their communities. For this family, it meant helping renovate a scout hut in Slough, outside of London. Meanwhile, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh took part in a training session at the Guide Dogs for the Blind Association in Reading. And Princess Royal Anne attended a service recognizing volunteers at Gloucester Cathedral. The day capped off a weekend of celebrations for the newly crowned King Charles III and his wife, Queen Camilla. On Sunday, some 20,000 people came together in front of Windsor Castle for a star-studded concert honoring the King and Queen. It featured performers like Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, Andrea Bocelli, and British pop group Take That. Prince William also delivered a special message to his father, saluting his efforts to raise awareness on climate change and helping the disadvantaged.
As my grandmother said when she was crowned, coronations are a declaration of our hopes for the future. And I know she's up there, fondly keeping an eye on us, and she'll be a very proud mother.
While the King and Queen did not partake in the final day of celebrations, the King did release a statement thanking everyone who joined and everyone who helped organize the weekend. In London, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
Coming up, we'll meet an Alaskan man who is finally getting a needed heart transplant after 5 tries. An Alaska man who needed a heart transplant missed out on the life-saving surgery because of an ice storm. It took 5 tries, but he finally got a new heart, and he doesn't want to waste a minute. Julie Calhoun reports.
Before this, I could do 2 laps around our kitchen counter, our little island, and I was done chasing my kid.
Patrick Holland given a new heart and lease on life.
And when I get home, I'm going to chase the crap out of him on the playground. So it's emotional because I didn't have it.
Hi, Mama! Yay! Patrick is a father of 7 from North Pole, Alaska. We first met Patrick when his flight was canceled from Fairbanks to Seattle during an unprecedented ice storm, grounding all flights in and out of SeaTac, ultimately losing an opportunity for a heart transplant.
I think I cried more that day than I have in my life, and had exerted every emotion that I've never had.
Fast forward a few months later, and he's recovering in Seattle with a new heart.
Oh my gosh, I can't even explain it. It's like literally dying and someone saying, here's a new life.
But the road here has been filled with ups and downs. For Patrick, heart disease ran in his family, and he was ultimately diagnosed with congestive heart failure at 39. After 3 pacemakers, major bypass surgery, and other procedures, he was put on the transplant list at 57.
My life has been slowly taken away every 6 months, every heart attack, every cardiac arrest. You lose another part of you.
After missing the first chance at a new heart, he wasn't going to let that happen again and came to Seattle in January to wait for the next call.
And I got another call. And then it's like, lay down everything. And I told everybody, sorry, I got to go. And we got there, and then that heart had a sickness. They couldn't tell me what it was.
That would happen 2 more times. Then the phone rang again on March 30th.
But the 5th one, he goes, you got an hour and a half to get here. This one is perfect for you. Doctor looked at me and he said, I'll see you when you wake up. And it felt good. And I woke up. And I have this new heart, and it's pounding with authority.
Patrick had a post-op scare with internal bleeding and didn't think he'd make it.
There's genuine happiness running through here that's just, it's a gift from God for sure. And believe what you want to believe, it's a gift. You know, it's a miracle. I'm going to help a lot of people with this art. So whoever's out there, don't worry. It's not wasted.
A new chance at life. That's awesome. Well, guys, it's been a great Monday, and that's our time for tonight. But before you go, we'll leave you with a video of a baby snow leopard at a wildlife park in the UK. Be safe, and we'll do this all again tomorrow. See you then.